What's in that glass? I don't drink, so.
I might have wine later. But
I found my way home across the Grand Mirage.
hi, yes, it's the Allison Arngrim Show, and I'm Allison Arngrim. And yes, some of you may recognize me as evil Nellie Olson from Little House on the Prairie. But tonight I'm Allison Arngrim, and this is the Allison Arngrim Show. And here on the Allison Arngrim Show, we talk about things that make you feel good. The movies and the television shows that made us feel good, and the people who made them, and people who are doing things now to make the world a better and more interesting place. And tonight we have interesting. Yes, I always love it when I have people I know on. It's always so much fun. Tonight with us is the upcoming show, the extraordinary actor, singer, songwriter, screenwriter, drag queen extraordinaire, performance artist, just Renaissance person, the amazing. You look like you died because you look like you're in heaven. Where the hell is that? I love your backdrop.
I'm in Tahiti. No, I'm actually in a friend's garage. Yeah, we're working on the Christmas show, my annual holiday show. You know, this is my 23rd annual show. And the show is called, you know, Christmas is Not Canceled, because we all thought it was going to be. But thanks to, you know, modern technology, we can still do it. So we were desperately, frantically editing and working our magic. And then I was like, ding, 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 I got to go downstairs to the green screen, pretend like I'm in Tahiti, and talk to Allison Arngrim.
You look fabulous. How many times, I was just saying, how many times have I seen you out of drag? 3? Is this like the 3rd? Is this like the 4th time in my life I've seen you out of drag?
I don't know, because I mean, I live my life like I'm in drag all the time. I'll be at lunch with my best friend Mario, and I will be like, you know, bitch, please. And he's like, you're not in drag right now. You know, like, I think I've got the makeup on all the time. So
good. This is good. I like that. I like that. Let's see, God, we've been around forever. We've both been around just freaking forever. I remember.
You will not apologize for that.
No, I am old and it is good. And we look amazing. I remember running into, it was like 93-ish, and I was out somewhere, was that thing Club Flirt in the middle of the night, that weird after hours club, and I was hanging out with Aunt, and I ran into you somewhere, and I remember you had particularly striking makeup. You were doing a particular thing that evening where you had like drag makeup, and then you look like you'd fallen down a flight of stairs. Oh. Like someone had like punched you repeatedly in the face, and like the mascara. I was like, whoa, okay. Like, wow, I missed that show. So you have always been unusual.
Putting a twist on the word beat.
Yeah.
There was a time, and it still happens occasionally, but after 30 years, I've learned my lesson. Sometimes I sit down to do my makeup and I just get bored. No, I love these drag queens that have a signature look. You know, Lady Bunny is always blonde. She's always got the salmon lips and the, you know, everybody, you know, but I get bored. So sometimes I'm a redhead. Sometimes I'm a blonde, heavy metal, fried black hair, Golden Girls, you know, like older Jewish woman. That's my thing. I always said, if you're going to dress up like a lady, be a Jewish lady in the 80s. That's my aesthetic.
Because then you could just wear anything. It's true. It's true. Well, and that's the thing. I think you were into the dark black hair and like just bright red lips and purple eyeshadow, and it was fabulous. It was fabulous. But you were also on occasion you are B. Arthur.
True. Yeah, well, sometimes you just want to wear triple shoulder pads and some flats.
Because it was at the mismatch game and the Golden Girls thing.
Yeah. Well, she's my spirit animal, and I've heard from some people that is the cultural appropriation to even use that term. And I understand. I'm not trying to belittle it. I think it's amazing. Like it's the only way to describe what I mean. But she's my inspiration. Let's put it that way.
And I think so. And I think if it's a person, it's not the same thing. I mean, there are people actually have a spirit animal. It's actually a religious thing. But I think if you say it's B. Arthur, I think that's a whole other category that we're talking.
It really is not. I'm not trying to belittle a culture. I'm just taking the best parts of everything in this beautiful world and embracing them. So
She's your spirit golden girl.
yes, she is. Dorothy's Bornak.
Yeah.
Owl eyebrows, and I mean, like, literally just those. There was one scene where she did a quadruple take. She's leaving the room. Do you remember that? She was leaving the room and somebody says something and she goes, and I swear she did it a fourth time. And I was like,
Yeah.
nobody else can get away with that.
The triple take is great artistry in comedy, but the quadruple take, that's just like, there's like a handful of people on earth who could do that. And B. Arthur could do it. She could
It's
do
like
it.
ice skating, you know?
Yeah.
Axel. Well, she was the quadruple asshole.
Brilliant. But a lot of people don't realize, I mean, you started as a poet, which I found fascinating, that you actually started as a poet. I don't know that a lot of famous drag queens started as poets.
Well, when I first moved to Los Angeles in the early to mid 80s, now I'm in my early to mid 80s. No, when I first moved to LA, and by the way, LA back then was amazing. Were you here then? I mean, we're
I've always
talking.
been here. I've just always been here. I'm a fixture at this
Oh my
point.
God. The bands, the music venues, Melrose was actually thrift stores. Like nobody would dream of buying a designer outfit or something with a logo or a name. You put a fucking look together. Can I say fuck?
It was affordable. It started like in the 70s with Tiger Rose and then all these punk stores and then blew up. And the early 80s, it was amazing. Oh my God. Sushi on Sunset, Melrose. It was actually, LA was cool.
There was a place on Melrose called I Love Juicy, and you could get like lavash bread and put whatever you wanted, like this kind of hummus. And it was very, sort of, 80s. All of a sudden in the 80s, everybody wanted to be a hippie again. And I used to see Sandra Bernhardt there all the time. And Sandra Bernhardt is the reason I'm a performer. Obsessed. My queen. Dorothy's Bornak, B. Arthur. And I like just loudmouth, bitchy women. So anyway, my point is that back in the 80s, like I came to LA and I mean, I had a sense of humor, but I was also an artist and a photographer and a poet. But I was also that age where I took everything so seriously. I was a gay man in his early 20s and all I did was listen to the Smiths and cry my eyes out and everything was so serious. And I'm the first person to ever fucking feel this. But then I just like thought, you know what? I grew up with Carol Burnett. I need to make this fun. And then I started to gain weight. So as a gay man, I had to figure out a way to still be the center of attention. And that's when, so we did drag for Halloween, which was a rite of passage. And I took it to a different level than, all my friends. And like, I found my true voice in drag.
Fantastic. And I think that is how it became for a lot of people, finding their true voice. And there is something freeing about the costume and makeup. I mean, I have joked that as Nellie Olson, I was technically in drag for 7 years as a child, because it was so not me. I mean, I would go to the set and take off my jeans and my Converse high top tennies, and suddenly I'm in layers and layers of petticoats and lace and puff sleeves and a wig. And so there's something freeing about when you transport yourself into this other character that involves a wig and an elaborate costume and makeup. And it's like, it's me, it's not me. Maybe it's the real me. I don't know. And it's freeing and other things just come out.
It's shocking how freeing and how you are actually removing layers by putting on layers.
Thank you.
You're getting to the real you by putting on artifice. It's crazy.
And I think that's true. And I think it's true. And that's why a lot of, with drag queens, and we go to see drag queens, that they will say things that we somehow feel we cannot say. And they will say the outrageous things that maybe we're all thinking that we don't necessarily blurt out, but the drag queen will.
But Allison, sadly, the drag queens aren't even allowed to say it anymore because the world's getting so touchy and PC. And I don't want to, invalidate or belittle anyone's experience, but listen, if a big old man lady clown makes a joke, that doesn't mean that they hate women. It doesn't mean they're racist. Like, that's not why I do this. I do this to make everybody laugh. And I love everybody. And I mean, like I said, I don't want to invalidate someone's feelings if they feel hurt, but that's so the complete opposite of my intention that it's upsetting when I'm accused of being, you know.
The only time I ever saw you accused of anything, and we all took your side and went, "Oh, good heavens!" We were all in Ptown, the fabulous, fabulous province town back east there, and Ptown had been this mecca for, well, gay entertainers and really fabulous, cutting edge, amazing nightclub stuff and fun things and artsy stuff in Ptown. And I performed there a couple of summers, and it was really cool. And of course, the great Ryan Landry, who does all these crazy shows there, is, you know, king of Ptown, and all kinds of cool stuff was going on. And I was doing shows there. And then one year, it's like everybody else discovered Ptown. It was like Ptown was sort of not like inside, but it was very gay in the way that like Fire Island was exclusively sort of gay as like an enclave. And even the people who went to Ptown who weren't gay, but like they went because there's going to be drag performers. There's going to be people like the Nellie Olson's comedy troupe who are thoroughly outrageous. There was going to be me doing the Prairie Bit Show. There was going to be that kind of entertainment, nightclub stuff and crazy things. Yes, in the daytime, there were arts and craftsy places and ice cream, but it was a kind of a blend. But then a lot of people came in who'd never been there before. A lot of straight people, a lot of families coming in, and yay, they enjoyed it. And there were things about it they enjoyed, but they didn't know. They like didn't read the brochure. And they came in and went, "Well, this is really pretty. And there's all these like craft shops and there's all this ice cream. And we should go to these shows." But like, you know, they could have looked it up. And people were attempting to bring young people and children to the Jackie Beat Show, which all of us who knew you like sort of fell on the floor going, who in their right mind would take kids to Jackie Beat? No, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. Why would you take your children? And you actually wound up having to put a sign outside your show saying that it was adults only, which seemed redundant to me, but you had to do that.
Yeah, a lot of the performers were sort of watering down what they did. I mean, I'm not saying some of them, you know, like, and listen, if you're a business person and you can make, you know, twice as much money, and I decided, you know what, I honestly can't do that. Like, I will have no material. So I'm going to on the fact, and I want gay guys to read the sign and go, that's the show I want to see, not for kids, you know, like, not that I love kids, you know, who doesn't love kids? But anyway, so the thing about Ptown is, yeah, it's what we call, see, when we were in New York, we did a show called, well, we did a bunch of shows, but one of our most popular shows, Theater Couture, which was the theater company that Sherry Vine started. Me, Sherry Vine, and Mario Diaz did a show called Telltale, which was an updated version of Telltale Heart. And she plays this rich woman, and he's like this, you know, hustler who's got a beeper. She ends up killing him and putting him under the floorboards, and the beeper keeps going off. It was really good, and it became a huge hit. And these producers took it to off-Broadway. We did it at the Cherry Lane.
Wow.
And so you have these audiences that know who you are and what you do, and they appreciate it. And then we have what we call the New York Times audience, which is about the cool show. So that's what we got in Provincetown, was these people like, I'm going to be cool. Well, the problem is
Provincetown's fun. What is it about? I don't know, but I heard it's fun. I'm going to go, and I have no idea what I'm getting into. Yeah.
People think they want their clowns to push the envelope and be shocking and, you know, shock them and offend them. And honey, you have no idea. I take it to the nth degree. Like, I mean, there are songs that are so revolting. I mean, even, but here's my point. One day, because you got to bark in Ptown, so you got to get ready early, and you're handing out flyers and trying to get some, you know, people to your show.
We get the afternoon, there was a tea dance, and you'd hang out in front of the place that had the big dance in the afternoon and talk to people and hand out flyers and sign autographs and whatnot. I did it myself.
But I was out in front of the theater. I think it was the Art House that year. And I was flyering, and this guy, like, I saw him with his two young kids. Like, one was 12 and one was maybe 6. Oh. So, like I'm a prop, like I'm a joke, like I'm an animal in the zoo, which I wouldn't even treat an animal this way. I saw the dad like, oh, go talk to that thing.
Point and laugh.
And the 12-year-old is all disgusted. And anyway, walked up with a video camera and literally got right in my face. And I said, you know, usually people ask before they do that. And he's like, just ignored me. And I said, you know what? I said, get the camera out of my fucking face. And he goes, oh, great way to talk in front of kids. And I was like, I'm a drag queen. You want to have your fun with the drag queen? This is how drag queens fucking talk. Guess what? He called the police. A police woman, this bull dyke, can I say that? 20?
It was Ptown, so yes, that's who would be.
Bull dyke police woman shows up and she's got her pad of paper and she's like, this gentleman just, oh, here's what happened. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. The kid was walking away and he goes, oh yeah, real nice mouth. And I'm like, you know, why don't you, and he had an ice cream cone. And I'm like, you better walk away before I shove that ice cream cone up your ass. And I said, you know, I'm going to shove that ice cream cone so far up your ass, you're going to be able to tell me what flavor it is. So they called
technically a threat. Okay, what? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's lactose intolerant. So it was really, really mean-spirited of me. Here's my point. The bull dyke shows up, you know, full police uniform. She's like, this gentleman said that you were going to, like, oh
that God. You were literally going to shove an ice cream cone up someone's ass.
Yeah, she said something like that. You were gonna like kick his ass. And I said, no, officer. I said I was gonna shove the ice cream cone up his ass. And she started laughing. And I said, listen, you wear your uniform. I wear my uniform. These people come here and they make us miserable. And she's like, you know what? Case closed. She closed her little, like, she was like, I get it, girl. And she just like.
Is that people did that. There was a level of people who knew what they're getting, but the new people, harassment of performers. It's hard enough when people have to stand in front of the theater and try to sell tickets or show. But there were people who were coming up who were harassing. Yeah. Before they were touching people were standing around in front of the show saying, here's the show. And they did have to put up signs. I remember even seeing signs saying, please do not touch the performers, because people were coming up to drag queens and people who dressed as showgirls and like grabbing. I mean, if you go to Vegas and the showgirls are outside the theater in the showgirl costume and you touch them, you'll be spending the night in jail. They don't let you do that. And people were coming up and grabbing people and shoving cameras. It got really crazy. And I mean, luckily my show's called Confessions of a Prairie Bitch, so they kind of knew what they were getting. But we did, I remember, I think it was Jenny McNulty who was opening, and I was after her, and she was really panic stricken because we were getting this totally different audience, and it was like a church group, a bus group, and these families. And she said, I'm and she was cutting things. And I just went, once you're out there, it seems too late. I said, you know, like before you went on, if you said, okay, I think I'm going to do this, but they're there. I mean, they bought the ticket. And so I opened the show, and early in the show, I made some reference to like, you know, hope you know what show you came to, because right. Hi, here we are. And it turned out they wound up staying. I didn't cut a line. She was like shocked, like, oh my God, you didn't cut anything. They stayed. They didn't walk out. They stayed. They wound up staying for the whole show. They went, oh, okay, well, this is what we came for. But there's different entertainment. There's entertainment for children. There is entertainment for teenagers and young people. There is entertainment for adults. There is many, many different kinds of entertainment. If I'm in Walnut Grove, Minnesota, doing the afternoon speech, you know, signing autographs, of course I have a version of a show that is appropriate for the kids and grandma. But if it's 11 o'clock at night on stage in New York, it's a different show. It's like, why it's craziness.
Favorite things to do is what I call Bugs Bunny, which is where you can do things, you know, that the adults are getting, but it's not actually bad words, and like it works for everybody. And sometimes when you can't say a bad word, you need to be more creative and it's actually more fun. But just tell me that's what you want. I can't tell you how many gay pride celebrations and shows and festivals I've been hired to do. And as I'm walking up on stage, they're like, now remember, this is all ages and family friendly. And I'm like, what?
You tell me this now?
Did you hire me?
And it's like I said, at the time, I remember going, it's Jackie Beat. I think we really all know who Jackie Beat is, what kind of show Jackie Beat does. How in the blue hell would someone be confused about that? I mean, now you did, speaking of, you were the host of Seattle Pride's Pride Parade in 2015. You have been the host of Pride Parades around the country.
Mama Tits, who was, you know, like really, she was like queen of Seattle, and then now she lives in Puerto Vallarta, which, you know.
Right.
love. Puerto Vallarta is the
Lured
last
me.
place I performed before all of this happened.
Really, I was lured to Puerto Vallarta by Mama Tits. Mama Tits was the one who said, you got to come down here. You got to come down here. This is the place." And I went to the same theater, and I was in the little cabaret room, and it was great. I spent several weeks in Puerto Vallarta, and it was just mind blowing. And the funny thing is, it was all Canadians who fly in.
Yeah.
It's like there's a direct flight from like Edmonton and Regina, Saskatchewan, and Montreal. It's like all these. There were so many French Canadians, and the tech guy at the theater was French, and so exactly. I wound up speaking more French while I was in Puerto Vallarta than I even attempted Spanish. And at one point, it was hilarious. I had a bunch of French Canadians, and I did like a whole chunk of my set. I was like, "Well, I have a French version of this," and I just started speaking French to the audience. And I was like, it was hysterical. And I was like, "There's more French people here than there are people speaking Spanish."
Puerto Vallarta is so gorgeous, and the people are so wonderful. And I'm sorry, I could not believe after the show we would go out to dinner, and I don't drink, but my friends would be drinking, and we would eat the best food, and it would be a couple dollars US.
Okay, I went to the place that was Liz and Dick's house, the fabulous Casa. What's it called now? It's gorgeous. It was a house that Liz Taylor and Richard Burton built little tiny houses with a bridge between them, and now it's a boutique hotel and restaurant. But the restaurant's the Iguana or whatever is.
Okay. It was Night of the Iguana.
This was Night of the Iguana, so the bar's the Iguana. It is fantastic. And I remember I went, it was my birthday, and Mama Tits and I went, and it was like, everyone said, "Oh, it's really expensive." And I went, "Okay, real world expensive or Puerto Vallarta expensive? What do you?" And I got there, and it was so much fun. We ordered like one of everything on the menu, like had cocktails, wine with dinner, some hors d'oeuvres, the Chateaubriand, the this, the that, the thing. We had dessert. We ordered like 87 things, and we tipped the mariachi band and bought their CD. And it was about what I would have spent like for half that at an LA restaurant.
Yeah.
It wasn't even $200. And I swear we ordered like everything on the menu. We were there for hours. We were there for days, and it wasn't $200. And we were like tipping like that. So yeah. No, Puerto Vallarta, the prices are kooky. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous place. And everyone is super fantastically. And it is actually, people say, "Oh, is it safe?" There's a neighborhood you can go to if you wish to get mugged, if you want to get drunk and walk around waving your wallet and get mugged. And then there's the rest of the city. And it is a lovely, lovely place. I really enjoy it.
Anywhere, but
safer than LA. What?
I was telling friends that if Trump won, again, that I was like, I was truly considering selling my house, cashing out, and buying a gorgeous condo, because they have these gorgeous, modern, beautiful condos going up all over, Puerto Vallarta, and they're so inexpensive. And I'm not sure exactly how it works. Like, you don't really own it. Do you know what I mean? You sort of do, but as an American. But listen, if you're going to retire, who gives a shit? I don't have any kids.
Well, I think that's what Mama Titch kind of did. She got a place down there, like permanently, and is there because it was like Seattle, back and forth. And I mean, the attitude in Puerto Vallarta was very chill. They had there was one restaurant, and they said best breakfast this side of the wall. I mean, they just were like, "Oh, yes, you're building a wall." They just did not care.
Yeah, and when you walk around, they're selling, all of the great, some of it's, very touristy, and other things are really artisan and beautiful. And then you've got those so many amazing anti-Trump T-shirts.
They had that. And then if you went up the road and around the corner, you found the stuff where it was the indigenous Indian beadwork stuff. Mm-hmm. But it was all in one place. You could have your tackiest souvenir and your most like authentic, indigenous, fabulous handmade bead thing, like 10 feet away from each other. And then now they're having the same thing that we are. It's like, how do we do a show? Okay, well, we're outdoors, we're on the roof, or we're doing it by video, and
right.
We're all, yeah. So this is the thing. We're all doing our shows now. We're all have transitioned into this virtual reality that we're all living in with a palm tree behind us, where to perform. Because when March hit, I sat in the middle of my floor and went, what am I gonna do? Because I was supposed to be at the Laurie Beachman in New York for Mother's Day, my Confessions Very Bit show. I had a bunch of autograph shows and whatnot. I was gonna go, RuPaul's Drag Con, the big event. Me and Judy Tenuta and a bunch of people would sign autographs and have booths and hang out. I had all these things I was going to. I was going to the Cherry Blossom Festival in Missouri. I mean, you name it, I was going to it. And then I had shows lined up in France. And then we didn't. And I did not know what to do. And next thing I knew, I was reading Little House on the Prairie on Facebook Live while wearing a bonnet, very successful. And
wait 1 second.
yes. Do you need a bonnet?
No, the moment you put that on, you literally become, I don't know how old you were, 12? Like your eyes, it's like
terrifying, isn't it?
wonderful / terrifying, which is also like a pull quote from any review of mine. But yeah, you put that, it's like the same exact person.
I started reading the Little House books on Facebook Live while wearing a bonnet, and people just loved it. They said, "This is great. This is what we need. This is relaxing. This is great." And then I started doing my shows. I said, "Well, there's this thing called stageit.com." So next thing I know, I did my show, a shortened version, from that part of the living room, the other end of the room, on stageit.com live, and people loved it. And now I have another one, plugging my show. Hello, yes, coming up December 17th. I have Nellie's Nasty Noel again on stageit.com. And now you have a show. You're this weekend.
Yes. And I am listen, I've done a million live shows. I came up with I did Quarantine Cuisine, which was my cooking show just in my kitchen. And in one episode, I actually cooked some stuff, but the second episode was me just showing you how to open a lean cuisine with fingernails and microwave it. So it wasn't really about the cooking, but I did tons of those. And then I do a show called Best Friends Day Wednesday, which is just me interviewing people on Instagram Live. You'll have to do it. And so I've done tons of live shows, but this Christmas show, I wanted to there's too many opportunities for technical problems. And if I want people in Europe to be able to watch it, so it really does feel live, and it was taped live, but we're doing all the celebrity, messages, which you did. Thank you so much.
I did. That's what was fun, because you have celebrity guests, and it's just little blurbs of what do you want for the holidays. So I ranted and screamed into the camera, and you have that now.
Yes. So I'm excited, but I'm really happy that we are pre-recording it, so I don't have to worry about it freezing or, people, because it's just, people are paying money and they deserve, a finished product. And this way we can add, graphics and just do it right.
But we're getting fancier with our online stuff. When we started it all back in March and April as a matter of survival as artists, of okay, hook up the camera. How do we do this? Hello, Earth. And, hello, Houston, hello. And now we've all got lighting and are making things happen. We're getting more technologically advanced. Now, when is your show? Your Saturday night? But what time are you?
I'm not sure the times.
But it's on your website. Your website is what, Jackie Beat?
I think it's 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Pacific. So there's two shows.
I usually do. It's 5 o'clock in LA. It's 8 in New York, and I have people in France who like to sit up all night. So yeah.
Shows on Sunday that is timed specifically for the UK and Europe. So Saturday and Sunday. But if people go to MissJackieBeat.com and click on schedule, that's the easiest way, so I don't have to remember anything, because I can't remember anything.
And there is so much going on that website. You have a gorgeous website, MissJackieBeat.com. And was it the original? Was it you are the biggest bitch in the world?
Biggest bitch.
But I'm the world's biggest bitch.
You're the OG. I'll give you that much.
I'm the OG. I've lived long enough to be the OG of anything. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so you have this fabulous website, and you just go to MissJackieBeat.com.
Very important to let gentlemen know that you are available.
Very important now. And that they can find everything. They can find all your stuff, including your
buy merch and download music and see what the next show is. And there's even some video on demand. I've done Battle of the Bitches with Sherry Vine, and then we did Battle of the Witches, which was our Halloween show. So, you can watch past shows for $5 or something. But I want you to know that I have a big bonnet, just like yours, but it's literally comically large, because years ago I did, that song Gangnam Style? Gangnam Style, that Korean hit.
Hey, lady, yeah.
I did it about if Mitt Romney becomes president, the entire country is going to go gingham style. I had this big bonnet and a matching apron, and it was all about how we're all going to be sister wives, and it's going to be so horrible. But it was so funny to do it to that song. So I have a bonnet too.
Very good, very good. We love the bonus. Now that's the thing. You're a songwriter. I mean, yes, many drag performers have things where they write some music or they've written lyrics, but you are a songwriter. You are a multi-talented artist. So, when did you first start writing the songs? Did that come out of the poetry or out of the drag?
Well, you know what? I feel like I said I grew up with Carol Burnett. Carol Burnett, my favorite parts of Carol Burnett were their, like Gone with the Wind and making fun of things and like TV commercials and like As the Stomach Turns was their, soap opera.
Yeah.
So, and I also read Mad Magazine. I don't know how many people are familiar with Mad Magazine and National Lampoon.
Right.
And Saturday Night Live came along, and my favorite thing was always when they did, a parody, a commercial, a song, a pop song. So I kind of have a Mad Magazine approach, to pop culture. And I just do the show that I would want to see. And I always make this joke. If you are blind, then you are blessed to hear my hilarious comedy and my beautiful singing voice. If you are deaf, you get to see the look, which I call, it's trademarked, fuckable clown. And if you are blessed with both sight and, hearing, you've hit the jackpot or the Jackie pot. So
The Jackie pot, indeed.
yeah, so like I said, I don't know what came first, but I do like camp. One of my slogans or my mantras is have the courage to be camp. People these days, like look at Bjork on the red carpet dressed like a swan.
Yes.
Like take a chance, do Cher in the big, cockatoo look, like have your ass crack showing, like have a little fun. People play, it's so safe now and they all have stylists. Like have the courage to be camp. Those 80s singers that used to, everybody sang like Pete Burns, like everybody gave 110%. And now everybody like whispers and they're too cool for school. So
It's true. I miss camp. Camp is old. There's an old book actually called Mother Camp, which came out in part of the 70s, like the history of drag and a female impersonation of camp. And camp goes way, 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 way back. And I've always liked really good campy stuff. I mean, there were movies that were camp and performers were camp. And now people, yes, they're scared to be camp. They take themselves very seriously and they're afraid to be, oh no, that's too campy. And I'm like, yes, campy, campy is good.
exactly. I mean, Nellie Olson is campy.
That was the thing. We kind of figured that out. Catherine McGregor, who played Mrs. Olsen, brilliant, brilliant woman. We realized somewhere along the way that we were starting to become the comedy of the show. We were the comedy relief and we realized this is campy. This is campy. The flouncy dresses and the ringlets and the outrageous stuff. And as Catherine used to say, well, Mrs. Olsen, Harriet, she's not just she's mean, she's foolish. She's a foolish, ridiculous woman. And she's trying to, being terrible to these people, but she's absurd. It's like, it's camp. And so we camped it up but hard and people loved it. We were the camp of that show.
And that show needed it because, I mean, like, I love heartfelt. I love family friendly. I love, but give me a little yin for the yang, like, yeah, you got to be the comic relief. I remember Nancy Allen, who played Chris Hargensen, the bad girl in the original Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carrie's my all-time favorite movie because, the moral of the story is don't mess with the freak. But I remember Nancy Allen saying, like, John Travolta and I thought we were the comic relief. Like,
right?
In Carrie, like, we were bumbling around and we thought what we were doing was hilarious. So, yeah. You gotta
have a villain. You gotta have some comedy because Little House, they had all the serious stuff. I mean, every episode someone died or something. But I mean, well, of course, we're very popular right now because we had an episode called Quarantine and we had an episode called Plague. So we are like the big hit right now. Everyone is going back and watching Little House on the Prairie and reading the book. So you have all of that, but you need I think the show worked because we had a villain, we had camp, we had comedy. And we had all of those elements in one thing. So that's why, yes, no, I'm a big believer in camp. And so
just back when they had a plague or had to quarantine, like they didn't have Netflix, they didn't have FaceTime. They didn't have Zoom. What did they do? Like churn more butter and, needle point a pillow?
They all lay on the church floor and waited for Doc Baker to come back with the quinine. It was horrible. But that's the thing. So we're all doing this now. You've been technologically gifted, obviously, for a while. So what are we all doing? All of us now who are performers, we're all like doing this whole thing on the internet. And this is going to go on for a while. Is this going to become like its own thing? And when things start to get good, like my doctor says, next fall could be very good. Are we going to go back into the theater and then also have this like internet life on the side, do you think?
I think that people will be so hungry for live theater and human beings and that experience. We're going to have a true renaissance, like really. I do believe that. But there's a part of me that's like, bitch, now you're spoiled. To do a drag show without shoes on,
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes like, I won't say whether I'm wearing pants right now or not, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, I love people and I love my fans, but I don't have to get on a plane. I don't have to like, put up with a line of drunk people after I've just performed for 90 minutes. I don't have to put on shoes. I could get used to this.
We don't have to go anywhere. I mean, even this show, it's like, well, I had to get dressed up and then I had to, drive down to the nice little studio down the road and people would have to get there and we'd have to deal with traffic and then I'd have to drive home. I'm like, I am in my living room, la, 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 la. I have on pants. Someone asked me the other day during my prayer reading, do you have, and they were in France. They said, have you pants today? I said, yes, I am having the pants every day. Yes. I have the pants. But the thing, and then when I do my show and Bob, my husband Bob, he said, you didn't have to fly. You didn't have to stay anywhere. You just did the show and now you're here and we can like order a pizza. It's like, what? This is pretty good.
Layers to that phrase. You can order a pizza because you don't have to leave the house and you can put the camera right here and who cares if you get a little pizza punch.
Or spill it on your shirt here. I mean, yes, I'm dressed up. I mean, I'm in jeans. I'm in sneakers. It's great. I have a little table here. I have my little Diet Coke. I'm like, I
really do think it'll swing back. And I think even personally, there's nothing better than, can we just go there? It really is, the perfect metaphor is sex. I mean, we know how to get off and technology is great and there are toys and there are gizmos and there's the internet, but nothing is going to be the same as another human being. And that's the same with performing and audiences. So I think it'll swing back to where it'll be this explosion of, my God, I need live theater and I need live performance. And then maybe it'll go back just like, so it's a little bit of both, like both. Now we realize like, hey, we have fans in Europe who can't see my show. So why not make it available to them? And it makes sense business-wise, artistically, and it's just, why not?
And I think so. And it's true. The sound of the audience, the sound and the being able to play off them, they're right there and able to go, oh, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? It's like, I can't do that now. I still do my Q&A. I ask them questions on Facebook and have them send me the questions and say, what do you want to do? But yeah, that thing of actually physically contacting your audience, we're all craving that. And I think that's good. I think someone said, isn't it going to be the Roaring 20s? I mean, when we had the pandemic at the turn of the century and all that, we got the Roaring 20s afterwards. So perhaps this is what we'll have.
I think we're going to have the whoring 20s.
True. The physical contact, like you said, it's the same with sex. How many people have not been out of the house in a while?
But here's the thing about this show that I'm doing this weekend. Even though it's pre-recorded, I still have to get in drag because we're selling VIP tickets, which include a virtual meet and greet on Zoom. And I'm going to answer questions and talk, but I'm going to sing a couple bonus songs because, you got to be creative. And if you can have a second tiered little more expensive ticket, give people what they want. So
That's, I think, what we'll do in the future. I'm plotting, as we say, okay, so then I'll do my live show when we are back in the theater, and then I'll have the internet. If you want to buy an extra ticket, you can be part of the internet behind the scenes piece that we'll be putting on the web after, and you can, yeah, that would be, you'd have that.
also, here's something to keep in mind. When you're doing a live show, throw up 2 video cameras and record it, and then offer it later for pay-per-view for people who couldn't be there or live in Europe or where, whatever.
It's just, it's genius now. I think we'll be able to use both of these things. It'll be fabulous. Now, you've also written for TV. You've been in TV shows. You've been in movies. You have a real career, as we say.
No shock. Well, I've been blessed to write for some amazing people, mostly women. Joan Rivers, Roseanne Barr, Sandra Bernhardt, Elvira. I wrote Elvira's last 3 shows at Not Scary Farm, and I just wrote a song parody for her this past year called Don't Cancel Halloween. And so yeah, I've written for like so many amazing people, and I've written for some TV and quite a few screenplays that I'm just gonna say were ahead of their time because they didn't sell, and that sounds better than they were bad. And yeah, and I've been in a lot of movies. I don't audition much. I just kind of do what I do, and then people are like, I wrote a part for you, or I think you'd be perfect. And I'm not against auditioning, but my personality. Going into a room and begging someone to love me isn't exactly my thing.
And that's kind of what's happened to me. I mean, I have an agent, I do audition, but then I have these people who go, well, we know what she does and we know where she is, so hi. But that was the big joke when years ago I did Make the Yuletide Gay, which of course is now running like mad again because it was the first like gay Hallmark-esque adorable Christmas movie. And I was in that, they said, oh, this character is kind of like a grown-up sort of Nellie Olson neighbor thing, and like an Alison Arngrim type. And then they said, well, why don't we just go get Alison Arngrim? It's like she's practically in the phone book. And they're like, there it was.
That's the B. Arthur story from Golden Girls. They were like, it's a B. Arthur type. And they were finally like, why don't you call B? She's available. And
right.
The last movie that I did called Stage Mother with Jackie Weaver and Adrian Grenier and Lucy Liu. It's available on all streaming platforms. I think the hair and makeup person was a trans woman who we shot it in Halifax, and I just immediately bonded with her. And she was like, when this was all happening, they were talking about this character and they said, it's a Jackie Beat type. And after hearing that like 3 or 4 times, somebody just said, well, why don't we call Jackie? Maybe she'll do it. And it was like, I'm not a huge star. Of course I want a movie. Of course I want to be in a movie with 2-time Academy Award nominee Jackie Weaver.
Yeah, hello. And so that's when people start saying, oh, this is so maybe we should just like get her. And so I have had people call me and say, well, I have this part. That my favorite though was my friend who said, I have this character of the lead girl's boss, but I wasn't going to ask you because it's a bitchy part and I thought you'd be offended that I was asking you to come play the villain again. I'm like, excuse me. So of course I did that. So yeah, so I have people go, well, yeah, hi, I'm doing this thing. Do you want it? And they call me and I'm like, yes, what time and how much, let's do this thing. So yeah, I love that when that happens. That's the best.
And the lesson, and it's so funny that you just never know. Why not? All they can do is say no. Like if you're on the other end of it and you're thinking, oh, so-and-so isn't gonna, let's be honest, I wouldn't call Meryl Streep and ask her to, to make a little message for my my holiday show. But you really never know. And you
never know. She could be sitting home going, what? I love Jackie Beat. I don't know why I wasn't called for this.
I shouldn't have used her as an example because she's super cool. And
she's really fun. She's really fun. Every time I see her on a talk show, I'm like, oh my God, she's hilarious. So
yeah. And talk about not taking yourself too seriously, like the greatest living actress. And she has such a sense of humor, and you can tell it's not fake. She's not.
And I mean, of all the human beings in the world who could legitimately take themselves seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was Meryl Streep, I might take myself seriously. Good God. And she does not. So, that's
Yeah. Well, I'm so excited because, like I said, I had to take a break from editing. And when we're sitting there editing and I look at Calpurnia and like, I actually delight myself, Allison. Like, I know that sounds so egotistical, but it really is almost like a different person. Like, I just watch myself and I'm like, that's okay, that's hilarious. Like, sometimes you just have to give yourself credit.
right. And that's the thing. People say, well, I know some people hate to watch themselves. They hate to watch themselves. And even like serious actors have been around for years. Like, nope, can't watch myself. Can't do it. And other people are like, and I'm like, no, it's like the post game footage, and like, yeah, you gotta, oh, should I have taken that pass or not thrown the ball that way? Absolutely. It's the game footage. I enjoy it. People say, you can watch yourself? I go, are you kidding? I freaking love watching myself. And people say, oh, you don't watch Little House, do you? Yes, I do, and I laugh my ass off. It's like,
You know what I love?
Watch yourself.
When you watch yourself and you kind of remember your thought process. Like, sometimes I'll be watching myself and I'll be like, I bet I take a sip of my drink right now, or I say this, and I'll be right because I don't really remember it doing it live, but I know how my brain works. So anyway, sometimes I watch it and I just marvel at the fact that I'm in the zone, which means you're a trained performer, but you are letting it all go and just like channeling something and being open. If somebody says something, if somebody heckles you, if a light falls, like, yeah. And sometimes I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm good at this.
Well, and that's the fun part. Is like, in my show, because like the Q&A is like some of my favorite part because I get the questions right before I go on and I like glance at them. People go, was that Q&A? Was that written? Did you have the answers? I'm like, no, I peeked at the cards. Oh, that's a good one. That was like it. And then totally like live. And it's the most fun. It's the most fun. And even online, it's still the most fun because you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen next. And that is the fun of live performance.
Yes. And have you ever had that thing where, I mean, I've prepared for a show and, prepared and written, and then something goes wrong or something real, which is what people are really starving for. And then they're all like, that was my favorite part of the show. And I used to take offense at that. Like, really? I worked so hard on this fucking show, and your favorite part was when the mic fell over and I practically tripped face first into the audience. And they're like, yes, that was real. I could feel how pissed off you were. And so now I embrace that. People want real. They want genuine.
They do, and that's why. Like, ever since I started doing like real stories and everything, and they want real. They want it real, and I think that's why you have had such a long career. So we've been around forever. Is that you? You are camp, but that's the thing. You don't hold back. You don't hold back when you're you. You don't hold back when you're Jackie B. You do let things just fly out. And even if it gets you in trouble occasionally, you let it fly. But that's what people like. They go, but it's real. He's real. People like that. They want that.
Yeah, I agree. And it's the best job in the world. I'm really so, the word gets thrown around a lot, but just so blessed. Like, before my dad died, he was watching a video of me in full drag, and it was my Christmas show. And I mean, this is my dad who grew up in the Depression and was in the Navy. This is a big straight guy, and he was always complete. What is that when you love somebody unconditionally? Like, he never tried to, make me anything I wasn't. But he's still who he is, my dad. So he's watching this videotape, this is how long ago it was, of my holiday show, ironically enough. And at one point he paused, and it was filthy. I mean, like gay sex and shitting my pants. I mean, like, and I'm sitting there cringing a little bit, like, I know this guy's got a great sense of humor, but this is a bit much. He paused it and he's like, I don't get it. And I was like, oh my God, what do you mean? I was like, ooh. And he's like, I don't get it. I don't understand why you're not a fucking millionaire. This is hilarious. So I just feel like I said, and then he said, before he died, he said, son, you are so lucky to make a living doing what you love. And it comes across, like you're just in love with what you do. And as a result, people love what you do. And it's like, 99% of people don't get that.
No, it's the old what, find a job, something, do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life, as they say. But that's incredible that your father, I mean, how,
Yeah.
and thought your show totally rocked. That's mind-boggling.
Well, I mean, I always say this, my parents were smart enough to accept the biological reality of gay people. Growing up in Scottsdale, Arizona in the 60s and 70s, their best friend was a gay couple, Bob and Jim. And they just, it was, I feel so bad for friends of mine who have been, you know, disowned, or like if their parents, a friend of mine, his mother is a big Trump supporter, and like they barely talk. And I said, and I sort of didn't get it. I don't know how to explain it, but all of a sudden it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, if my mother was still alive and supported Trump, I started crying when I told him this. I wouldn't, I don't even know, like, who is this woman? Like, how can you love me and support this hateful idiot? So it really strikes me how fortunate I've been, you know, in my family life, in my professional life. And I love being me.
So we're gonna see you Saturday. We're gonna have this and see you Sunday. And so the Christmas show, how long is it? It's Saturday. It's the 12th. It's on the.
I'm not sure how long it is because we're still editing it, but it's at least an hour. And honestly, I cannot tell you how many special guests we have. And I mean, some of the messages are 10 seconds long. So, you know, but and some of the drag queens, I got to say, Alaska Thunderfuck, Jinx Monsoon, like some of them, and Benda La Creme, like some of them went so, you can tell the people who work on it, like they're at the top of their game, because even this little video is like lighting and backdrop and, you know, like full costume, and they, you know, it's perfection. So there's a something for everyone.
So there's going to be singing and music and filth and terribleness and wonderfulness and love and hate and everything all in one evening. Yes?
Yeah. Christmas, COVID, and Trump, lots of Trump bashing. And I did a parody of, oh my gosh, New Attitude, Patti LaBelle.
Very good. Great.
High energy, you know, keeping it current by doing a song from the 80s. But I did New Attitude as new president because I am so thrilled. So that's a good one. That's not filthy, but
oh, that's even very good to even have an almost clean number, something for everyone. All right. Well, thank you. Shockingly, we are out of time. Thank you so much for coming on my show. This has been just delightful. Love your background. I will see your show is Saturday. I'm next Thursday. We are all over the internet. We are original bitches still on the internet, still alive after all these years. Thank you so much for coming on. I look forward to it, and Merry Christmas, babe.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays, everybody.
Holidays, and thank you. And this is the Allison Arngrim Show.
I found my way home across the grand